And we back with another one, man. We are chopping it up with some of our Cowboy greats, man. John G, shouts out to you, sir. This ain't just some we just working together, boom, boom, boom. I actually seen you in real life, shook your hand. We was at the draft in 2019 draft.
Whatever draft that we got, Van Der Esch, whatever draft. Yeah.
That's 5 years ago, man. I've been knowing you for probably longer than that, really. So welcome you've been here before, but welcome back to the show, man. Appreciate you. Salute. What's happening, Doc?
Yeah. Hey, chilling, bro. Hey, you gonna leave out the part where you came up here and got some mumbo sauce, then rolled back out?
Man, let me tell you something, dog. That happened in real life. I feel you, but I'm trying to lose weight now, right? So I just can't be handling. I can't be handling, you know what I mean, sugary condiments like I used to. You in shape, you can do what you want, but I got to cut the sugar and salt to make it work. You feel me?
Hey, look, bro, it's hard. It's getting harder and harder out here for me. Look, three kids, bro. We eat terrible because we always, you know what I'm saying, they playing sports, so we hear fast food. So I gotta stay my butt in the gym or I'm gonna be like 350, bro. I'm gonna be that one technique we looking for.
Hey man, let's get into it then. Let's go ahead and run it. Since you just brought it up there, let's start at one tech. Mozzie at one tech. That's it. Jonathan Hankins is a Seahawk right now, and we currently looking at Mozzie and Carl Weathers, what's his name? Carl Smith. Carl
like what Carl Winslow,
Carl Johnson, San Andreas, Carl Davis, the one tech, and he ain't even officially listed on the roster. He was a practice squad guy last year, and he came into the game, and there was a whole bunch of nonsense on film. So this is what we're forced to deal with. This ain't a very deep one tech class, and I do mean one tech. It's some threes here. It's some B gap players, there's some edge guys here, but it's not a whole bunch of one techs. It's a handful of them. Do you take one tech early? The problem with taking one tech early is running back, O-line, wide receiver, linebacker. We got to worry about that too. But Mozzie's your first one tech on the board right now. He's starting right now if you don't do nothing else. John G, what we doing at one tech, bro?
Well, I know how the Cowboys operate, and it's like we drafted you last year, and what Will McClay say, if we draft you, we got to play you. Mm-hmm. He playing no matter what. Shoulder could be falling off the socket, off the bone. He playing. I think we probably should be looking more towards three technique and seeing, you know, who we could pair up with him because he's going to play regardless. And then I think they'll probably wait till after June 1st to see who's on the market as far as one techs to back him up. That's kind of how I feel with this draft, and I'm like you, bro. However the board falls, that's how we should draft. But I don't think we should force one tech.
So you think Mozzie and Luke and Demo and Junior Fehoko and Duzman, Eric Scott, you think all those dudes gonna have a role next year because Will McClay say if we draft you gonna play? Austin Rich, especially Austin Rich. I'm gonna ask you later on about Austin Rich. But last year's draft class, you think they're gonna have a pivotal role in this year's season because they did nothing for you. None of them did nothing for you last year
because they got to be right about them. You know what I'm saying? They have to. So they have to give them the opportunity. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know Junior Fehoko didn't really get the opportunity last year. You know, they kind of. I don't know if he really was hurt or if they did the little fake IR thing or anything like that.
That motherfucker wasn't hurt. That boy healthy as hell. He all right.
Yeah. I think that they're gonna give those guys every opportunity, and they're gonna try and draft around it like we always do.
But man,
I know. I feel you. Not what we want to hear.
No. But, okay, so look, though, to your point, though, right? They didn't have an opportunity. Here's my whole point. Tyron Smith did have time where he didn't play. And Chuma Doga had to play left tackle. Chuma didn't even know the plays. Austin Richards couldn't get time while Chuma Doga was out there being trash. The run game was horrific. We needed D-line help in general. Fehoko couldn't get time while Neville Gallimore was out there looking crazy as hell, or Mozzie was out there looking crazy as hell. Eric probably wasn't gonna play. Like we couldn't get Deuce involved, no kind of way. Like all this, like Demo was the only one that had a valid excuse. He just got hurt and he was just out for the season. Especially Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker had an opportunity to where Hendershot was hurt. Yeah. And then Hendershot came back, and Hendershot dropped the first pass we threw to him. Hendershot was missing blocks. Hendershot caught a total of 6 passes last year, and Schoonmaker did nothing with those opportunities. So, yeah, we could be like, all right, they not getting opportunities, but I think it was opportunities. They just wasn't good enough to play better, better than the trash dudes that was playing, right?
Yeah, well, I think that the offense and the defensive side of the ball, they kind of did things differently. So I'll say Mike McCarthy even said this in, remember the Arizona game where he kind of took the blame for the play calling because he didn't really trust what was out there, but they held up better than what he thought. And then, because he ended up scrapping a whole bunch of things in the game plan because they knew Tyron wasn't going to go. But I think he limited himself because he didn't trust what those guys were able to do. So maybe that happened with Schoon. Maybe that happened with Austin Richards, where they just trusted that Chuma was a veteran and they threw him out there. That's the only thing I can think of as a coach.
Yeah.
Defensively, we kind of handcuffed ourselves with that linebacker position, and that hurt us on the overall roster. So maybe Junior wouldn't have been a healthy scratch had we, did things a little bit different. But yeah, I can't say to what the hell it is Dan Quinn was doing on that side of the ball with how we were doing the roster.
Was Deuce Vaughn bad, or was the run system, the run scheme just bad?
I think how we used Deuce Vaughn was bad. I think we used Deuce Vaughn as if he was like a regular running back. We were trying to throw him in between, inside zones and stuff. I personally believe this, and you're gonna be a line guy, and you're gonna love what I say. I don't think we gap schemed enough, and we had a gap scheme type line last year.
Sure,
and we didn't do it. We didn't do enough of that. Deuce Vaughn, rookie, wasn't breaking as many tackles because obviously they had a little bit of film on him in the preseason. But I think with a year of, like you say, off-season peanut butter, I think he could be better. I think he could, but I think he's more of an in-space type guy, and I don't think we got him in space enough.
Man, if you just go back and watch the film, man, just go back and watch Deuce Vaughn. Every time Dak threw at him and Dak missed high, it's so funny. Deuce look like he go, ah! like Dak never just hit Deuce in the chest. Every time Deuce had to reach, he had to jump as high as his little legs can make him jump. And it like he go, ah!
That's another thing, bro. That's another thing too. I don't think we're very good at screens. No. I don't know why, but we were good with it with Rico, but we didn't do it enough, which is actually funny. I don't know.
You think we were better at it with Rico because he had better vision for it, I guess? Because there was a lot of times watching Tony just ended up running into defenders. Like, he just wouldn't follow his blocks for nothing. I guess because he just believed in his athleticism his whole life. And maybe Rico was a little better following blocks in the open field. Think that was why?
Yeah, possibly. Some people execute screens better than others. Also, Tony had a problem catching the football last year. Let's just keep it 100. Yeah. Tony dropped a lot of footballs last year. Maybe it wasn't a lot, but because we didn't do it very often, it seemed like a lot.
So let's do this. Let's fix the run game from the bottom up. And mind you, we didn't talk about no notes or nothing like that. We just winging this on the go. This is what we do here, sir. So let's just fix the run game from the bottom up. If you're the Cowboys, you the GM, you in charge. You push Will McClay off the bridge and you put the suit on and you in charge, right? What part of the draft do you think about drafting running back? Is it early day 2? Is it round 3? 4th round, or are you one of them characters that's go, hey man, give me an undrafted dude and we just gonna go boogie? How would you attack running back?
I think running back you have to have some special running back here. I think last year we tried that and I don't think it worked as well. Now Tony, I don't think Tony was much of a running back. I think Tony's more of a weapon. I don't think we used him as a weapon. We tried to make him an RB1. I think we need more of an RB1 to be able to handle, everything across the grid. So for me, I think day 2, either pick, you need to be targeting running back. That's just me.
Give me a name.
Give you a name. I think Trey Benson. I really like Jalen Wright. Who else? Those are the 2 that stand out to me right now. Ray Davis. See, the crazy thing about this draft and how it's gonna fall, we don't have a 4th round pick, but that's really where
that's where they at.
You get that's where you get a lot of value for where if you're gonna get a lineman and a receiver or however it falls. 4th round, you could kind of wait, but because we don't have a 4th round, I think we got to be a little bit more aggressive with getting a running back.
I like Trey Benson so much, dog, and it would be my running back one would be Jonathan Brooks, but I'm just so scared of the whole ACL thing. I'm so scared of injury thing.
For sure.
But Dr. Cooper did the surgery. Shit, he do all the surgeries, and they still come back looking crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But boy, Trey Benson is contact balance for me. Making the first man miss for me. Running through the arm tackles for me. And once he get past that first 10 or so yards, catch me if you can speed for me. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to have him, but I'm about to put you in a weird. I'm about to just put you back against the wall real fast, sir. So if you take a Trey Benson, let's just say that's round 2 or 3. We gonna revisit that. Benson at 2 or 3. Where you going offensive line?
I think you have to look at it in the first round. I think you have to. I think that, but it depends on the player though. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't get an offensive lineman in the first, I gotta be looking at it in the second. Okay. I think it would be completely negligent not to have offensive line high on your board.
Sure.
That's just me.
So you looking at tackle, you looking at guard, you looking at center, what are you looking at?
I think it just depends on the player because I mean ultimately Tyler could play both. You know, I've been listening to you, and I've also, had this thought where we've seen Tyler Smith get thrown into the wolves against the elite pass rushers, and we know what he can do. There's an unknown with whoever this rookie is.
Sure.
I think it's much easier to put a certain guy in the phone booth than it is, to put them out at left tackle and say, all right, you got to go against these top pass rushers in this division. And, we got a first place schedule. So more than likely they're going to have some dogs out there.
Sure.
We know what Tyler can do already. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
This was just, I feel you, dog. And I heard you talking to E2 the other day because I am a fan of your show too, man. This is my only problem, dog. I seen Tyler Smith line up against Jalen Carter, and I ain't hear nothing from Jalen Carter that whole game, dog.
No, I feel you.
Every time Dexter Lawrence will line up over there versus Tyler Smith or Zach Martin, pick one. He just goes away. Or, whether it be a DJ Reader or something. Like pick a guy. Pick anybody that gave Tyler Biadasz trouble, did not give Tyler Smith trouble. Or pick somebody that notoriously year in and year out, the Washington Football Wizard kids, they'll smoke Connor McGovern, smoke Connor Williams. You know what I'm saying? Pick on Joe Looney. Man, they don't do that. They don't do that to Tyler. They don't do that to Tyler Smith, but he's so good.
But you know what, though?
Yes, sir.
It's funny you say that because, and I got to do a film breakdown of this. But when you put Bass and Brock Hoffman in at guards against Washington, those guys, I think those guys played, and they pretty much moved those guys around a little bit. So, there might be a little bit more confidence in Bass than we give credit for. I
feel good about Bass at center, possibly. But if I can keep Tyler Smith at guard and I can put Bass in between Tyler and Zach, I feel fine. I can live with Austin Richards at left tackle because I've seen Dak deal with trash at left tackle his whole life. And I ain't saying Austin trash, but if he's simply better than Chaz or either of the Cams or Ty and Seki, like pick your least favorite left tackle. Dak has been fine. Even last year, when Terrence Steele in that first game versus the Eagles, he was getting whooped on that right side. Dak still knows how to move up and navigate those outsides. If it's some trash in the middle, Dak really don't know what to do with that. So just in my own personal opinion, I need a tackle. Like I'm getting a tackle in the first round if I can. If a tackle's not there, I'm willing to roll with Austin Richards than to draft a tackle that I don't like for real.
All right, so let me ask you a question because I know this is personally one of our favorites. Fuaga. He there. I know we taking him, bro. Like I know we're like, so what do you do? What do you do with him? Because I think people could view him as a guard and not take him. That's why I think that they're thinking he could possibly be there. What do you do with him?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bail his ass out of jail because how the hell he get to 24? He must got caught with some drugs on draft day. How the hell he fell and got to us? But I'm putting him at left tackle. I'm putting Taliese Fuaga at left tackle. He has the movement. He understands spacing. He understands the range. But in real life, though, I can see why people would want to put Fuaga at guard because in a phone booth, there's nobody better. There's nobody better than him. But in my mind, if I just had to make the best out of the combination of Tyler and Taliese would be the left tackle because I just don't want to move Tyler from guard. That's all.
But that's a heck of that's a heck of a, you know what I'm saying, battle to have right there, where it's just like, I'm just drafting him and we figuring it out.
I'll draft him. Look, if you get Fuaga and he can't play left tackle, I'm sitting Terrence Steele down. Or Terrence Steele got to learn how to play left tackle or something. Like Fuaga's one of them dudes, man. And I really like what the Lions did. You know what I'm saying? The Lions said, hey, it's gonna be boring, but we're gonna invest in the offensive line. We're gonna get Rag now and then. We're gonna get Panay Sewell and the boys. We just gonna draft. But since they've taken care of their offensive line, now they got like 3 first-round picks on the O line, maybe 4, I believe, 3. They've taken care of business on that standpoint. Now they can be cute. Now they could draft running back 12th overall. They could draft tight end in the 2nd round. They could draft linebacker, not great value position-wise, but they've done that because they've taken care of business in the damn trenches on O and on D. They got, you know what I'm saying? Both sides was right. So in my mind, if it's up to me, John G, and, you know, people ain't going to like this for real, but if I could take a left tackle, right, or just a tackle, and we'll play him at left. Let's just say Mims from Georgia, Jordan Morgan from Arizona. I'd double down. If I can get a center in the 2nd round, I'd do it. I'd do it. Because then for the rest of the drafts for the next 12 years, I can be cute. I can get running back. I can get receiver. I can do whatever I want to do because my offensive line should be fine. Tyron Smith been your left tackle for 30 years. Zach Martin been your right guard for 116 years. Zach older than Tyron somehow. Dog, if you take care of business on the O-line, you ain't got to keep moving them and replacing them, man. I'm sick of playing musical chairs in my offensive line. But that's just me because I'm an O-line guy. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, but see, and here's my little pushback to it, because it's not a bad look, bro. I was a running back in college, so hey, I want to fix the run game.
Yeah,
I just don't know if Mike gonna commit to it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen years.
Hold on, bro. You come on now. Hey, come on now. Come on, bro. I got you.
Because, and that's where like people are fighting for receiver. You know what I'm saying? We're fighting for special running backs because I've seen Mike even in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Where it looks like, oh, we just going to bail on the run game real fast. We're not going to really try and fix it. Mm-hmm. We got us an elite guy back there. We just going to toss this thing around. Yeah. So if we double down on it, then we miss on the opportunity of possibly getting one of those guys that we know he going to throw the damn ball. Sure. We know Mike going to throw it.
Yeah.
So that was my only pushback on doubling down. All right, if we double down, cool. Let's figure out how to run the football. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out how to run it. Yeah. And I don't think we do. I think that's probably one of the things we stall out on offense. Mm-hmm. I don't think we run gap scheme stuff well. Mm-hmm. We just don't do it to adjust to what they're showing us up front. Mm-hmm. I think that if we somehow found a way to get a lead at that, I think we'd be much better in the run game. That's just me. You know, that's just me spitballing.
Sure. So you drafted a running back. And he's special. You got him in round 3. You drafted an offensive lineman. He's special because you got him in round 1. Cowboys don't miss them. So you got a 2nd round pick left. We still need linebacker. We still need defensive tackle. We don't have a 4th round pick. I think this wide receiver class around that area is special. But what do you do right there if you got, let's just call it 2 needs and a possible? I say wide receivers the possible there because I think you can find somebody better than Tobin right there in round 2. What are you doing with that 2nd round pick? DT, linebacker, or wide receiver?
Best player available. But I think more than best player available. I look, bro, when we draft BPA, mm-hmm. that's when we get the Micahs. That's when we get the Trayvon Diggs in the 2nd round. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to go BPA. Have to. So whoever the player is, absolutely. But more than likely, more than what you said, like I think linebacker, I feel like if you don't get one of those guys, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough later on. Yeah. And then you're scrambling. Good thing is that we got Kendricks. I'm not expecting Kendricks to come in and lead the league in tackling or anything like that, but we do have some leadership. Yeah. Overshown is probably going to heal up and be a little bit better. Depending on how we use Micah, we can move him back there a little bit. So I think it just depends on best player available for me. That's where I'm going to go.
I do think signing Kendricks give you a little bit of a cushion because at first you had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. It was Clark and it was Overshown coming off the ACL. That's scary. But Kendrick knows the system. He knows Zimmer and all that. So that's a solid help for us. So You're looking at Kendricks overshown. You're looking at maybe some undrafted dudes from last year, possibly, and Tyrus Wheat. Maybe he's a linebacker, pass rusher hybrid dude. So maybe since you have that, you can bypass that and find those dudes later on in the draft. But you also passed on. Well, okay. So how about this? Let's just play this game. What if BPA in the second round, right? What if it's a corner? What if BPA is a corner? What if it's Rake Straw from Missouri? What if it's Kyrie Jackson from Oregon? What if that's the best player there in the second round?
I'd have to consider it because at the end of the day, we can't act like we can't act. Look, we need everything. Yeah. Like I was watching Foots and J Tuck the other night. We need everything. Yeah. So we didn't sign Gilly back. If it's a corner, it's a corner.
Yeah.
That's the beauty thing. That's the beauty about the draft. And the crazy thing is because of the Cowboys 30 visits, because of their interest, they haven't really shown interest in corners or safeties like they could possibly. Mm-hmm. So I haven't really dug deep into those, just maybe the top guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that you fix the run first, you try and stop the run, and then however it falls, you go with it. But you have to at least consider it, leave no rock unturned.
I think the first round pick's going to be somebody that nobody's talking about right now. And I only say that because the Cowboys been doing that for the past couple of years. It just sticks out to me. Last year, somebody lied to James Slater, boy. Somebody lied to old James. Somebody lied to Michael Gelkin. They was like, boy, Michael Mayer's the best tight end on their board, and we going to take him at 27, boy, 26, wherever the hell we was at. We going to take him right there. And we was like, no. But boy, they was doubling down on that Michael Mayer, and Mike McCarthy looked us in the eye like, hey man, we looking for complete tight ends, boy. We looking shit. We want them to play all over the formation. We want them to catch the ball. We want them to block. And we was like, damn, boy, Michael Mayer really finna be the first round pick. We were so convinced Buffalo jumped in front of us because they just knew we was taking tight end. And we heard the Will McClay thing come out, and it was Mozzie and Bergeron. That was the conversation. So I feel like if we hear anything about the Cowboys pick or what they like or what we think they're interested in, I even think that this 30 visit thing is nonsense for the first round. You know what I'm saying? Because I did this video and I was just looking at the past couple 30 visits or whatever, and the first round picks, the first round options don't always be 30 visits. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the list we have, man. I can't help but to look at that list and be like, man, we're not drafting these damn people. No, it's going to be so. So who would you think? Go ahead.
But I was going to say there's some truth to it, but there's not some truth because there's a lot of lists out there that, like, for example, that we don't have access to, like the local, the local one. And then think about the pro days, right? Like I've been telling anybody who will listen, they getting somebody from Michigan.
Yeah.
Bank it. They're getting somebody from Michigan. I don't know who it is, whether it be Colson, whether it be Chris Jenkins.
Sure.
Chris Jenkins is a sleeper for me, by the way.
Yeah.
3-tech. Whether it's the edge, Harrell, because he was at the senior day.
Sure.
He was at the Senior Bowl, plus he was at the Michigan Pro Day.
Yep.
Somebody from Michigan getting picked.
6 offensive linemen in this draft. They got 6 offensive linemen in this draft. It's probably go ahead.
Somebody from Michigan, they like somebody over there. I don't know who it is. Hell, they might even like Blake Corman. I've been throwing his name out there. I know everybody keeps saying pass, but they got Schoon and they got Mozzie last year. There's something about their system on both sides of the ball that they really like pro-wise. Maybe they just trust Jim Harbaugh and how he does things over there. I don't know, but I can't call it. But that's where I'm at with that.
That's a good point. Do you have any pet cats in this draft? Who are some of your favorite guys in this draft?
Honestly, I'm trying to think of pet cats. My pet cat is so far down the board that I don't think he was on a 30-day visit though.
Okay.
But my pet cat is Jace McClellan out of Alabama. Love him as a running back.
He can play.
Love him. I think he'll probably be like an undrafted free agent or something like that. But if I had to call him, I like Ray Davis a lot too.
Yeah. Why you think Jace is so far down the list? I understand Ray is an old man and he got a bunch of carries. I love Ray too. Ray does everything. Ray runs, catch blocks, and Jace got a little bit of juice to him. I think Jace is closer to Bucky Irvin than like the 7th round guys that he's around. So why you think Jace so far down the list?
I think because he wasn't able to really showcase everything that he's capable of. And if you look at the quarterback situation in Alabama, I mean, when you got it, like, I honestly think Trey Benson didn't get to showcase everything that he has because I don't think Jordan Travis is as good. Tuck will kill me for saying that, but I don't think Jordan Travis is as good. I mean, if you're watching the receivers, you know what I'm talking about. But Trey Benson, I think, was handcuffed. So that's what I think happened with Jace McClellan. It just so happens that Trey Benson is bigger, faster, and a better athlete.
Man, that's something else. Oh, let me just write this down because I'm going to ask you about this later. Boom, boom, boom. That's something else I noticed too, man. You really learn a lot about quarterbacks just watching receivers or whatever. Look, the very first time this happened, I was watching CeeDee Lamb film, right? And I was like, boy, I hate Jalen Hurts because CeeDee Lamb could be so much better right now. But boy, if you watch Mitchell and Worthy, you're gonna see some nonsense from Ewers. If you watch the Washington kids, Jalen Polk make a lot of catches falling backwards. You know what I'm saying? Just going sideways or doing whatever. And to your point, thank God Johnny Wilson got the biggest wingspan in this damn class, because boy, Jordan had Johnny ass all backwards and sideways. Keon too. So that is fair. There's a lot of wide receivers that was going through some quarterback issues this year. That's fair. But what's your just give me thoughts on this, right? How do you evaluate some of these guys to where maybe they weren't featured in their offense all that well? Lad McConkey is a stud. He may got like 40 catches or something this year. Burden out of Alabama. Like how do you evaluate these guys that maybe they don't have a whole bunch of tape on them, but it could be like, you know, hey man, George Pickens, he only got 30 snaps from 2 years ago. But if you study them, you can really see, you know what I'm saying? So how do you attack the player that you think is good, but in the offense that's not really showcasing that well?
Okay, so I think that you got to kind of use, so I know a lot of people will say that the combine is for show, but what I like about the combine is that you could tell if somebody got hips or not. You could tell if somebody's comfortable doing these type of things. And you could kind of tell that they're telling them on the fly what type of things they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same drills every year. You know what I'm saying? They brought out the hula hoops this year for the pass rushers. Yeah. They didn't have that last year. So I think you use that. Maybe if they're in the Senior Bowl, you use how they practice, you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously, too, on top of that, you look for traits. I know you're an offensive line guy. So for the most part, when you're looking at later round talent, you're looking for traits that a coach can come in and improve. Yeah. So one thing that I learned from Mike Tomlin and changed my whole draft process this whole year was he said on the pivot, you know, we're looking for more pedigree than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're talking about, his hand usage is bad and stuff like that, those are things that could be coaching up. I'm a coach. I'm not looking to run away from that. But if the pedigree of the player, if we're talking about anything outside of that, like what are we talking about? So that's changed how I've looked at these players, and some of these coaches are probably thinking the same thing as well.
I like that. We're looking at the pedigree. But boy, some of these boys got bad habits. Some of these boys' feet terrible. Some of these boys' hands, they terrible. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna get into my offensive line like that. So listen, you're a running back guy, right? And
yes, sir.
By the fact though, me being O-line guy, I'm kind of running back guy. Like we share. Okay, so look, you do the coaching too. You ever notice that dudes that play running back end up being like tight ends coaches, or they end up being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why they put us all in that little same box like that or whatever? But anyway, let me just say this. Something that just made me mad watching all these running backs this year is shotgun runs when they don't fit when they don't fit the player. It ain't fitting the scheme. It ain't helping this guy out. And that goes back to the last thing we just said too. The offense isn't helping this player right now. And when I'm watching Braylon Allen, I'm watching Isaac Garendo, Audric Estime. Like, man, some of these dudes don't need to be in shotgun runs. They
not
need
at all.
Go ahead, talk to me.
No, that's an excellent point, because one thing you brought up, Estime, right? Like, I really like him a lot. I call him the dead leg king. When he get that foot in the ground and he's able to go forward, you see explosiveness. Sure. If you got him going sideways, like, takes a little bit for him to, hit that cut and go. Yeah. You talk about Braylon Allen. I think that I saw you guys talking about that.
Sure.
Full head of steam. Why would I want somebody that big going sideways first?
Yeah.
That used to drive me crazy with Zeke too.
Yeah.
That used to drive me crazy. We started going more shotgun when, you know what I'm saying, he was killing in the trap game when we were, behind under center. I'm an under center guy, bro. I love under center.
Yeah.
In the run game, personally. So yeah, that does drive me crazy. But a guy who can kind of do that, who could do both, Ray Davis, that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you ain't see Blake Corum doing a whole bunch of that. Blake Corum was forward, and I think that's probably why McCarthy and them like Michigan so much. So I do think that scheme matters. I do think that.
I think some of these, bigger. I don't want to call them slower, right? But just some of these bigger running backs, right? I do think if they get into a system where they under center and they get to build up some, you know what I'm saying? Like they get to get that running start. That's some guy. I think they'll be so much better. And 40 time really don't matter all the time, right? Like we're in this 10-yard space, y'all fighting for 4 yards at a time. That's what they teach me. Hey man, just try and get 4. And the third time you do it's first down, right? So that don't really matter much to me, like in that short yardage amount. But like, man, if you I just feel like these coaches aren't really doing a great job showcasing talent to all these guys. Now, if you're Shipley out of Clemson and you run your route out of shotgun, man, hey bro, do your thing. If you Jalen Wright out of Tennessee and y'all working the zone, you doing the sideways thing, knock yourself out, player. But hey man, some of these guys, and it's gonna piss me off too, because let's just say Braylon Allen ends up being a Cowboy. He was a 30 visit guy, right? We will shotgun run the death out of some shit. It's gonna bother the hell out of me if I see him going sideways. Though. I'll be mad.
Absolutely, yeah. It would kill me, bro. It would kill me. But that's also why Derrick Henry ended up being who he is, because at Alabama they did a lot of shotgun runs, and I think Tennessee was doing a lot of shotgun runs in the beginning, and they just said, "All right, man, we're gonna get on the center, and we just gonna let this thing roll." And then once you get a big guy like that moving forward, it's really hard to keep them from getting 2 to 3 yards.
Yeah. Baltimore run a lot of shotguns. So we're gonna see how that Derrick Henry project works or whatever.
They probably gonna go pistol. You gotta go pistol. If you're gonna do that, you go pistol.
You better go pistol. One last thing, man, I'm gonna let you go, man. If the Cowboys draft this player, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
If they draft this player, let me see. Which round? We talking about 24?
Sure. 24. Yeah. That's the most hurt. Yeah, 24.
You gonna kill me for this, but I'm gonna say Mims.
Why Mims, man? What you got? What's going on with Mims?
It's just that I haven't seen enough. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen enough. I've seen him whoop up on some people, but it's more so it's more so the injury thing that gets me a little bit. Like, and also he only played right side. If you're gonna move him to left side, like I need to see. Now, again, they probably worked them out on the left side. So, yeah, obviously they worked them out at different positions if they do draft them. But it's more so for my own self not seeing it. Sure. I need to be able to see it at this point. Like, with this draft, we can't miss, bro. We can't, because we missed too much in the previous draft. Plus, we got our butts whipped by Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. I don't like this. Okay, so let's do this. Amarius, Mims, or Tyler Guyton for you?
Left side?
Yeah, left side.
I would go Guyton.
Man, what have you seen on film that make you believe Tyler Guyton that left tackle over?
It's not so much the film; it's more so what I seen at the Senior Bowl. It's the Senior Bowl too. Yeah, and the injury thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like what I seen at the Senior Bowl.
Hey man, if we draft Tyler Guyton at 24, I'd be sick.
But you got to remember, like I'm also thinking about him being next to. I'm thinking about him being next to Tyler, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about that.
Man, give me a center, dog. If it's between Tyler Guyton,
I'm with you though. I'm with you on that. Absolutely. You just asked me between them two.
That's real talk. So, let's see, Mims or Jordan Morgan.
Morgan.
Okay, you like Morgan better than Mims. Okay, so I can't. So you okay? So you one of them characters. Let's see, Mims or Kingsley Sewell-Mateo, BYU.
For me, Mims, but I know they're gonna pick Kingsley over him. I know they're gonna
straight up and down pick Kingsley over. Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
They're gonna be like position flex. Watch. Yeah. I already know. I'm already preparing for it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not. That's probably the one that's gonna piss you off, huh?
Can't see. I'm not good with the raw or the rough around the edges player. That's my new thing. Rough around the edges. So what I like about Mims is he is rough around the edges, but one, I see how he wins. he wins with a bit of control. And if you win ugly, it's my job as a coach to teach you how to win pretty. That's my new thing here. I don't see how Tyler Guyton wins. I see how he moves. I see his athleticism. I see the upside, but I don't see how he wins. So now I got to teach you how to win. Amarius Mims at least then went to playoff games, started a playoff, one of them 8 starts, playoff game versus JT Tuimalau, Ohio State. And JT beat the hell out of everybody else in this draft that he's going against. And look, Mims does have some deficiencies, and he has been injured 2 years in a row or whatever. But at that point, I don't know what to tell you, dog. I don't want Tyler Guyton.
Tape speaks for itself.
It's
does. More. It's not. Well, I guess I'd be going against what Mike Tomlin said, but it's not so much being raw. It's more so about like, bro, we've already dealt with so many injuries. You know what I'm saying? We already dealt with so many injuries. Yeah. But the player himself, I think he's a dog, bro. I think he's a dog.
Sure. That's a new angle that I haven't thought about with Mims, is the whole, hurt guy thing or whatever. I just watch his film and that's really all I am, film guy. I just kind of vouch on the film or whatever. So
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But just if it gets to a point to where the tackles there aren't really dudes, you know what I'm saying, that I really like at tackle, it's only a handful of day 2 tackles that I like. So if it's going to be that, just give me Graham Barton, give me Jackson Powers, give me Zach Frazier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Graham Barton's another one where it's just like, you put him in there, we're going to figure it out. He's a left side player. You can put him at center guard or tackle if they feel like he can play tackle at the next level.
Yeah, put him anywhere, man. So I just asked you, mad as hell. You'd be happy as hell if the Cowboys drafted this player in the first round.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Tell me why.
Because, and look, I'm just going to say it right now. I see, and I'm not saying he's going to end up being this guy, but it reminds me of the whole Randy Moss versus Greg Ellis thing, where we got a solid player in Greg Ellis, where, we knew we wasn't going to miss. But I just see a guy that consistently gets behind people. 4-3, big target. We haven't had nothing like that. I think that can kind of help stretch out the run game a little bit. So I think it helps us in the run game. Plus, I also think I know that Mike has a great track record of guys of that size, being able to make those guys work in his offense in Green Bay. Jordan Nelson, big guy. Devontae Adams, big guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think I know that it will work. Yeah. So I'd be happy with that, and then I think that, but that's just like a plug talent in there and figure it out. But I think that he's a great player for what we need. We never gave Dak nothing like that. No. That's another reason I'd be happy. We never gave Dak nothing like that. We've given him linemen. Yeah. We ain't never gave him no toys to play with, dog.
Man.
Except for CD, I guess. And that fell to us though. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Look how that turned out.
Yeah. Man, DMV drafting wide receiver, running back, and O-line, boy. The defense people finna be cussing at you in the chat, boy.
Hey, at this point, look, Mike going out on the shield. So I'm giving Mike every opportunity at this point, because it's a 1 year prove it thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that. Like, yeah, I know the defensive people are gonna kill me for that, but head coach, bro, we ain't gave him or our quarterback, who are on 1 year deals. Yeah. We never gave them nothing like this. So that's where I'm at with that.
I'm with you, bro. Law Foots, Koye, you know what I'm saying? All them defense people, they are bossing them, boy. All them defense people, they want to draft linebackers, one techs, and corners. I'm like, hey, man, go on somewhere. Give me my O-line, running back, receivers, and let's boogie. Let's go put some points on the board. You feel me? Hey,
that's
man,
it.
This was fantastic. John G, this was really long overdue. And you know what I'm saying? We had to we had to do some work to get it here, man, but it got here, and that's all that matters. Tell the good people where to find you, sir.
Y'all can find me at DMV Fanatic on YouTube. You can find me at DMV Fanatic 1 on Twitter X. Appreciate you, bro.
Man, appreciate you. Where your subs at now? You at like 12,000 or something like that?
Man, I'm close to 15, man. I'm closing in on 15 right now.
Come on, dog. I remember the old days, dog.
Yeah,
I remember that. Come on, man. Shouts out to you, bro. Congratulations. And y'all know where to follow me because y'all watching me on the channel or whatever. So y'all just hit the buttons. Y'all hold it down for the Dosey Woski. Till next time. Salute.